Sandra here, and we're getting ready to start. I've already hit the record button. So this is a retake of last week's show. Hi, Jani. So let me show you this. This is my sign real quick. So I put everything in here that I really kind of love. This is the clay flowers we did last week. This was my very first one. Let me see if I get an autofocus for you guys. Bring it a little bit closer. And there we go. So here you can see this was the very first rose I did, and this was with Jani from Paper Compulsions. She does the paper roses out of round circles, so it kind of inspired me to do it out of the paper clay. Thank you. So, and I put a little butterfly and one of the Prima's new embellishments. It's going to be kind of bright in here today because like the sun is really bright here today. And of course I put some bling, and I love my zebra print. I have that, and I like to work with crepe paper, so I have that on here. And then this is Prima. I think it's a Prima paper. Of course, my little bear. Let's see if I get her focused. But I put little earrings on her. There we go. Come on. And of course, more Prima flowers. And then there's some tulle here. There we go. And then I glittered up, stickled her little dress. Thank you. So that's my sign. So now I cannot remove the sign without hitting record from now on. Okay, we're going to play with the paper clay again today. Plus I got some molds from Carol and Barry. So let me put that away now. We hit record. So last week we did the I showed you guys how to do the texture paint, which we're going to go over real quick. That's this. We didn't get a chance to do the card, so I want to try to see if we get it. This was the rose I showed everyone how to do last week. And then this was the doll, and I use my Copic marker, not Copic, I don't use Copic, I use Pro markers, but you could, if you have color, what do you call it, the Copic markers, or colored pencils, and you see I put a little pink on her cheek. Let's see if I can get her to focus. There we go. And I added some color to her skin, and then I put some glossy accents on her shoes to make it look like patent leather. So then I just showed the texture paste. This was like fiber paste. So you can see it has quite a bit of dimension. Let's see if I could turn it this way so you could see. It's kind of like bumpy. It's not really smooth. And then this was the homemade paper paste that we made. And that was from Gabrielle, I don't know her last name, on Bo Bunny's blog. It's her recipe that I'm going to give you today. And then I'm going to show you how to do reverse stamping with your stamps. So hopefully we get all that done. And if we have time, I'm going to have to do it on Wednesday's show. But this is an 8.5 regular business envelope. And then it opens up. And you can see, I can see her black patent leather shoes here. Let's see if I get it. Focus. Come on. I know I need something black probably underneath it. There we go. Yes, Gabrielle Pecklill, yes. And let me give you Jani's. She does some really pretty paper tutorial on her blog. So let me allow links, and then if you want to go over to her blog later, you can check her paper flowers out. And I probably will put it on the description too, so you guys could see that. So then this one opens up. This is one, and we didn't get a chance to do it last week, so hopefully we could do it this week. And then you can write here your sentiment. You could also put like a gift card here in the back if you wanted. But this is how this opens up, like that. So hopefully we get time to do that. So let's get started. so first thing we're going to do, and on my blog is the directions on how to do the homemade paper paste. So you need a 1/4 cup of a talcum powder, a teaspoon of white all-purpose school glue. I'm just going to use gesso because I don't have any white craft paint, so I'm just going to use gesso. That's 1 tablespoon, a little bit of water. Thank you, Cher. Alright, so let's get my little container out here. That, my teaspoons. And this makes a nice smooth paste. So you can see we did some last week. Thanks, Dawn. So see, it's kind of smooth, not really bumpy. So we're just going to add some real quick. So we need a 1/4 cup of powder. And if you can't take this, then you know there's plenty of places. Gesso makes some, Martha Stewart makes some, but it does get puffy. The smoke can get to you. It smells good. I mean, every time you open up your... Yes, the recipe's on my blog, Mitz. So that was the powder. Then we need a teaspoon of the school glue. So, here we go. You know, it doesn't have to be exact, too. You're going to mix it up to your liking, however you like it, thick or thin. So, let me just get a wipey. Thanks, Dawn. Yes, it's just baby powder. That's all it is. Just from that was just right from the dollar store. So any baby powder is good. Now we were saying last week how you could use it also if you didn't have baby powder. You could use baking soda or baking powder, the one that's in the box. That's the powder, right? And it's kind of like a little bit thicker and a little bit more gummier like. And then some people have used flour, but we also said, Dawn said that that gets moldy, and plus it's very, very gooey and takes a long time to dry. Alright, so that was teaspoon, 1/4 cup of, what did I say, 1/4 cup? Teaspoon of the white all-purpose, so we need a tablespoon of the paint. Tablespoon of paint. And like I said, I'm just going to use gesso. This one here is kind of mortar-y like. The other one I use is golden. It's a little bit thicker, but for our purposes, it's good enough. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Eileen. All right, so that's that, and then we're just going to add some water. Let's get all that out. And I have it on autofocus, so if that gets too much for you guys, let me know and I'll take it off. Okay, Jana. All right. Then we're going to put a little bit of water in here, and then we'll mix it up. And I'm just going to put like a capful. And then if we need to add more, we will. I don't need that anymore. So I think I'm going to add maybe another cup of water. That should do it. So she says you want it kind of just like toothpaste, really. So we just mix that up. Probably could have done a cup and a half, probably. It's a little watery. So I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. See, it's really runny like. I don't know if you can see that. It shouldn't be like that. Let's see if I can do it this way. It should be a little thicker than that. So I'm just going to do a couple squirts. That's good. Yeah, that's better. So about a cup and a half instead of 2 cupfuls. And you should be good. It does smell good. Okay, so we're good to go. So now last week we put it on cards, and that's what we're going to do again today. I'm just going to do 1 card. Like last week we did 2, but I want to try to get to everything today. So we're just going to do 1, and you'll get the idea. Oh. Oh, this is getting towards the end. I hate when that is. Plus I have some molds I want to show you guys too today. So let me get the one that I used last week. Stars. Hold on, I'm looking for my mask. Stars. Oh, I can't find that other one. Well, I don't have that one, so let's go with this one. Maybe I have it here. Alright, so I'm going to use just wax paper for easy cleanup. I mean, use your non-stick mat, but for the purpose of this, I'm just going to use wax paper. So I'm only going to do like halfway. Like I said, I want to get going today, so I want to use this. Oh, Barry here. Hi, Barry. Let me get you. All right. So here we are. And it's still a little kind of watery, but we'll see how it goes. The main thing is you want to make sure you have your mat nice and flat. So you're just going to smooth it on. and then you're just going to peel it back. And then I usually, when I have stuff left on, let me just try this, I just wipe it off on here. And I usually take this and use Tim's little scrubby if I have anything really left on there, but it's pretty well clean. So I'll bring it up closer so that you can see. And then all I have to do is just throw this out. Keep that over there. And then can you see? It's just really kind of smooth. Not too bad. Not a lot of texture. It's pretty thin. I'll show you one with the fiber paste and then you can see the difference. Pretty smooth and thin. So let's get that to dry. I'll do this one real quick. And this one I'll use a fiber, fiber paste so you can see how it's more gritty. So we'll put that down. We'll use the same mask, and then let's see. I have Martha's. Last time I used, I think I used Golden, but now we'll try Martha's. So let me close this one up. So it's a really nice recipe, and like I said, you can make it thicker. You could throw in beads and make it like a crystal bead. Those beads, those clear little beads. So on my top. And as long as you have it in an airtight container, you're good. So that's that. And so now this is Martha's, so let's see how that one is. And we can compare it to what we just did. So do the same thing, and then we'll spray it with some Lindy's. Yes, I have the molds. I'm going to show that later in a little bit. Oh, hers is pretty gritty. Can you see? Look, can you see hers? It's kind of gritty. It's not as soft. See it there? Looks kind of like stucco. So let's see how this works, because this is very thick. It almost feels like it's already hardened up a little bit. I think I may throw some water in there. Very thick. Yeah, hers is really... Oh, I forgot to put my wax paper down. Oops. I'm off screen. Yeah, hers is really gritty. I think I'm going to throw some water in there. It almost looks like it's dried out a little. So let's see what this looks like. So you can see hers. Let's see, there it is. You can see how more gritty it looks. Hi, Carol. Let me get you. Hold on. Where is she? Carol, Carol. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. There we go. Alright, so let me wipe this off, and then we'll spray it with some Lindy's. So that's that. Well, let me wash this off too real quick. Yeah, so if you have some baby powder, you can make your own really quick and play around with it today. That's a nice thing. I think I'm going to have to throw this in some water. Look how pretty that looks just on the wax paper. Alright, let me get another wipey here. If you guys missed my sneak peek, I'll have to show you. Remind me after the show. Yeah, I'll have to throw this in some water. That's good enough for now. Okay. Alright, and let me just... This dries pretty quick. I mean, it's a little soft, but I'm going to hit it with the heat gun right now for a little bit. Just so we can spray it. This one has a lot of dimension to it. It's a lot thicker too. You can see how much thicker it is. Yeah, and the wax paper looks good. And when I teach class, I usually do wax paper because then you can just throw it away and everybody doesn't have the big mess to clean up. It usually dries pretty fast. I don't know about Martha's, but this one dries pretty fast. Alright, so let me get the wax paper and we'll spray it now. And then I usually like to take some seam binding. Where is my seam binding? Here it is. I don't like to waste any of the ink that falls on the paper, so I usually sop it up with that. Plus it matches your paper then too. So, let's see. What color do I have here? This is a flat one. This one is Whale Watch Blue. And let's see, what else do I have here? This is Tibetan Poppy, so we'll do those two. Oh, I didn't clean my knife. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to spray it with this. This has some, I don't know, like a blue-green. It's really pretty. So, and we'll do with this. That doesn't show too much of a color. I'll set it with a little bit of the Mojito Green. Oh, I think this is the full one. And then I take this, let's move this over, and I need my water. So then the ink that's left over on here, I spray it with water, and then I pick it up with the seam binding. And you could heat dry this, but then you kind of crinkle up the ribbon a lot more, so I like to let it dry on its own. But then you see it's a pretty like blue-green. Can you see that? It's like a blue-green. So I'll let that dry. And then I still have a little bit on here, so let me see if I have some, what can I get over here? So I usually take my white flowers and then you could rub some of this on there. So like this, we'll pick up some of this. Let's rub it. And then we have a flower that we could add onto the card. So let me heat dry that, and then I'll bring it up to show it to you guys. My water, throw this away. My heat gun. I have so much stuff on my desk. Dry too. And it's curling a little bit because I just used that tape runner instead of using something better, but I can stick it down later. So let me see if I can show you now all the glitter from the Lindy's. You see it? How shiny it is there? There's a lot of glitter now. Yeah, the burlap, I love this burlap. This is the DCW little pad because it's got the paper in the back. And it's really nice. Especially for doing flowers. There we go. You see all the glitter kind of from on the flower too there now? Yeah, it is a nice soft effect. So then you can add anything on here now once with this card. You know, put a little ribbon. It makes a quick card, a nice cute card, and you know, you could do a whole bunch of it at a time while you have the paste out. So yeah, that's from that little pad. I thought I had it, yeah. This one, that's the burlap pad. It's great with the paper on it. Alright, so now I've shown you that, and I'm trying to think what we did last week now. I think we played, after this, did we play with the, oh, I showed you how to do the burlap roses, so let's do that. Let me stick that up there, and that. So this is the rose that we did last week. See it there? Come on. There it is. So we did that. And here's another one that we did. That's another one that I did. Same stencil in the back. And then this is one that we did last week with a lot of blues and greens. This is the Mini Paradise stencil. And you can see that with the Lindy's. It was blue and green. I forget. I think it was almost the same colors we used. So that was that. And then this was in the pinks we did. And you can see, I think you can see the glitter in there on the pink. See the gold? There's a little gold in that pink. So that's the burlap with the spread with the paste. So now I'm going to show you how I do the roses. So let me get my little box out here. Oh, there was my other ribbon. Take this out. Oops. I'm dropping everything. Hold on. Here's this. Let's just take this all out. I'll show you guys that. Hold on, everything's falling. Falling. All right. Alright, so these are the roses, and this has, let me get my little blackboard out. There's that. There's this one. And the nice thing about this, I didn't have to use a heat gun. I just use glue dots for these. So here are the different roses. So this one I used black little beads to, this one does need to be glued down. And then this one, I love this one, the copper one. You see that with the beads? It looks really pretty with that. This is just with distress stickles, this one. And these just a rolled little rosette. And this is one I did with the Inca Gold. Was actually the berry color, I believe, with the green, and just stuck some stickles on it. And then this one I sprayed some white distress inks, not distress, delusional inks on that. So you can see it has a little white tint to it compared to this one. So I'm going to show you real quick how to do the rose. So then we could get those going. When you go to cut this, they come in little, these are the 6x6 sheets. And you can see it has the paper in the back. Oh, it got wet. So what you're going to do is you're going to, I didn't tape it, I just taped it so you guys could see it for today. But you want to put your die cut that's cutting with the paper side. Oops, I got two of them there. So see, and then I run it through twice, and I also use one of those metal shims that you put in your Big Kick. You could do it, or your Cuddle Bug. And then see how nice it cuts? It cuts right out. So then you're going to just take this off. And I'm using the big one just to show you. I did the smaller ones with these. Like you can see, this is the smaller one. But it's just easier to show you on the bigger one. So let me clear some of this off my desk here. So once you peel that off, it pulls apart pretty easy. I'm just going to take it all apart. It keeps coming apart. And I usually save these for like little flourishes, or let's cut this one. And so what I usually do is I ink this. This one is a gathered twigs. It's one of my favorite, the brown. So I ink this before I put it together. Oh, I hope I brought my glue dots up here. Alright. So once you ink all around, then you're going to take any little, here, one of these, like a chopstick, and then you're just going to bend each one of these petals back. What's nice about the paper, that it holds its shape. So you see how it curves? Come on. And see how flat this is compared to this one? So you just want to do that to all the petals. And just keep rolling. And see how nice it curves there? Pretty nice curve. Alright, so let me get some glue dots. I think I brought my extra ones. Hold on. These are the big ones. These the big ones? Yes, good. So now you're just going to start turning this onto itself. And when I get that first one rolled up, I usually put a glue dot on there. So like that. And then you're just going to keep rolling. And I try to keep this bent like that as I'm going. And then I just keep going. And you want to add another glue dot. Oh, I hope it's not frozen. I don't think it's frozen, is it? No. So you're just going to keep turning this, coming around, trying to keep these folded over like that. Then add another glue dot. I mean, you could do this with a glue gun too, but it's nice that this has the paper on it that you could just go ahead and do it without burning your fingers. I'm going to just keep going around. Another glue dot and around. And you can tighten this or loosen it as much as you want your rose to be. Put this on there. And there you go. So you can see now this is the same size rose as that other one, and I just, so there it is. So you can loosen it or tighten it as far as you want. I'm trying to see where my other rose is. I built another rose, but I don't know where it is right now, but that's the same thing that's on this card. So see, I curved them more than I did on this one. It's a little bit flatter. Come on, focus. Let's go. There we go. So it all depends on how much you curl it, or if you want it flatter. Alright, so that's that. And then you can see, like I said, I have that. And this is just the different sizes of the roses. Oops. Come on. And these are the roses that we're going to use next week on our book, on our Bo Bunny book. So that is the burlap flowers. So now let me show you what I showed them last week, and then we'll go on to the paper clay. Stick this up there. Stick this in here. You guys have any questions for me about the burlap roses? And we'll be making some more next week, so let me stick this in there, that. And you can see when you do it without the paper in the back, it's very flimsy and it just lays flat. It really doesn't have any dimension at all to it, really. Okay. Let me clean my hands a little bit better. So now I want to show you, if you use your stamps and it points in a different, it's only like a right-sided stamp, I'm going to show you how you could use make it reverse, make it like a left-sided stamp. Clean my hands a little bit. Okay. That, and that there. Put this back. We don't need these. And then move on to that. So I need my ink. So you're going to need 2 pieces of acrylic. And then I'm just choosing the stamp because it kind of leans towards the left. Oh, I just dropped it all. So I'm taking this stamp that kind of leans this way, but say I wanted it to lean that way. I'm going to show you how to do that. Oops, I don't need that. It's pretty, isn't it? Dandelion flower. So I'm going to ink this up. Make sure my card is facing the right way. And then I'm going to stamp it. Let me just get a little bit off. I have some on here. And I'm going to stamp it here like this. Okay, but now I want the stamp to be this way. So how am I going to do that? So this is, we want the reverse. So what you need to do is get another piece of acrylic, and you want to make sure you don't use like stays on. You want a wet ink like that. This one is Memento. So we're going to ink this up again. The rose dye? Oh, that was either this one. This one was Spellbinders, but you could use any of them. You could use Tim's Pine Cone. You could use Impression Obsession has some. I'm trying to think who else. I think Sizzix has some. So any type of flower that goes in the circle like that. Okay, so we're going to ink this up now. And what you're going to do is stamp it on this acrylic. Make sure it's nice and clean. And you have to be careful not to really move it around. You just want to put the ink on here. And it's going to stay wet. And you're not going to get like like if you did it right from the stamp, but it still is a cool effect. And especially if you want to have like a corner die and you want it to go right and left. So see, here it is on, let me get paper. Here it is on the acrylic now. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this. And I'm going to stamp it here like this. I moved it a little. And see, you have another stamp image on the other side. You're saving the live video, Miss Pris. So see how cool that is? So now we got to use the stamp twice and in a different direction. So I'll stamp this one more time. I mean, you wouldn't be able to do it with word stamps, but any corner stamp, you'd be able to do the reverse. Cool, isn't it? So now not only that, but you also have the reverse now. Yep, the image backwards, correct. Yep. And then since it stays wet on the plastic, it just comes right off. Let me get a paper towel. So you can see here is the image. It's very light. If you can see with the light there. And it just wipes right off. Oh, I put it on there again, the wrong side. Got to make sure that you do the right side. So there it is again. So you can't get more images. But then see, it's nice and clean. There's nothing else on here now. So it's a very cool effect. So we did it last week too. See, here it is. And then what we did was I'll spray it, and then I'll show you if I can get Tim's sprayer to work. We'll do that. Alright, so let's take this away and that. And then just let me spray this real quick. I'll just use, I think I have this flat one. This one is Pink Ladies Pink. Is that what it's called? Offset printing? It's very cool. I did it when I was trying to figure out what it was good for the acrylic albums. So I did it when it stayed wet like that. It was like great. So it's very hard to see, but it's a light pink. The Pink Lady's pink is very light. So let me dry that. Oh, I have everything falling all over the floor. And then if I can get Tim's thing to work, if I can find my marker. Hi, Jani. I gave them your blog earlier so they could check out your paper flowers, which we're going to do in clay in a few minutes. So let's see if I can get this right. You have to definitely have this at the right angle, because if you don't, it doesn't. Did I get it? Yeah, there it goes. Now, you don't need two hands, but I have arthritis in my hands, so that's why it's hard for me to squeeze. Really, you could do it with one hand, but I have to do it with two. I just don't have the strength in mine. I can't believe I did the first try. When I did on Wednesday, it took me forever to do it. So I'll bring it up close so you can see now. Yes, it's really quick and easy. So now, let me see if I can get up here. Do you see the splattering effect? That's with Tim's new tool. That's very cool. So you can see how I splattered here. Has splattering. Let's see it. Does your hand get tired? I have to do it with two hands because I just don't have strength in my one hand to do it. But it is a cool effect. Yep. Alright, so we did that. Got that out of the way, that way. Now for our paper clay. So now I did these last night, and you can see, let me show you. Let's see if you can see. See how nice and white this one is? Let me get out my board. So, there you go. Now you can see, come on, there it is. So you can see how nice and white they are, and that's from the paper clay. And you can go back in here and sand it, but if you'll notice here, where it's thicker, it's still wet, even after last night, and I let it dry. The thicker the clay, it takes longer to dry, but I also just air dried it. So it's very cool. I love the leaves, so wait till I show you that. So last week, let me get rid of these. Let me use this out here. Oh, where's that? So you can see here what we did last week. And these are Jani's roses, which she does, which I'm going to show you how to do. And then these are the leaves that we did. These are handmade leaves. The nice thing about the molds is that it does both front and back. So let me get my paper clay out. Oh, I had one other thing to show them when I did the cards. So let me see if I can find my little wire before I move on. So we need this. We need some paint. I feel like black paint here. Yep, chalkboard paint. So let me get another paper towel. I had my nails all nice and done last week, but of course, like 3 of them broke now, so of course I didn't do my nails this week. So let me show you this first. So I'm going to take a little paint. This is chalkboard paint, but just one little bit to show you. Of course, you would do this with nail polish. But now let me show you what I did. I took a strand of my hair. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Let me get the board out. I made a little loop. There you go. You can see it. And then I used glossy accents here to hold it down. And then I wrapped my hair around it. Do you see it? So any of you girls who do your own nails, get there close. You can see I just wrapped it around. Like that. And then what you're going to do is you take your nail polish and you want to dip this in there. And so you want to get polish on there. Let me see if I can do it on here. Whoops, did I get it? Okay, so let me see. So what you want to do is go like this and lay it down. Of course my hand is shaking too, so you have the loop like that. And then you flip this the other side and you lay this down like this. And see? Come on. Come on. Darn it. You make your own little heart. I guess I have to get this out every time. So can you see I have a heart on my thumb there? Come on. Focus. Focus. Oh, it just won't do it. There it goes. Is the chat frozen? Nobody else is talking. So do you see that? So you can make little hearts on your nails. And then I take a wire. You can take a wire and you have make a little loop on there. And you can draw, and this is how I did, where's my card? What did I do with those cards? Hold on, look for my cards. Dang it, where is it? Here it is. So you see the heart that I have up here? I did the same way. So all you do is you take this and you're going to do the same thing. Press this down. And you can make little butterfly wings. Oops. You want to make sure you get enough paint on there. And there's your little heart. Can you see it? Oh, just doesn't want to focus. There it goes. So you could do that with any size wire, make a little heart. I mean, of course we all had heart stamps and all that stuff, but just a cute little tip to show you. All right, so that's that. All right, on to the clay. Get rid of this. First I'm going to show you how to do the roses like Jani does, and then I'll show you the molds. So this is a cameo mold. this one. And then this is a flower mold. My favorite are the leaves. Oh my gosh, I love the leaves. But first let me show you the rose, how we do it. So this is paper clay. When you get your paper clay, any paper clay, you want to put it in a Ziploc bag right away, because it does air dry really quick. And I usually squirt, when I open it and get ready to play with it, I usually put 2 squirts of water in here at least. And then you want to take your clay, it's really wet. I mean, it's great. I love working. It's so light. Like the roses they're so light. I love the paper clay. And then I just want to knead it in my hands for a little bit. Not long. It's not like Sculpey clay. It doesn't take long to like roll it up. And then we're going to roll this out. Let me put my inks away. I'm going to take some of this out of here. I don't need this. And like when I did the first rose, it was kind of thick, so I didn't really roll it out that well. You really want to get it pretty much like paper, as thin as paper. Now it's, I never used Crayola Magic. I guess it could be like that, but I never used it. I was, when I did a doll class, she introduced me to this paper clay, so that's the only thing I've ever used. Thanks, Barry. Yes, definitely go over to Jani. She's Paper Compulsions blogspot, and you can see all the different flowers that she does. They're really pretty. Okay, so I think I have that pretty thin. So let's see, it looks like this. And then what I do is I'm going to go with a smaller, I just take the top. I don't have a circle cutter, so I'm just taking the top of my Scotch Quick Dry. I used a bigger one last week, but I want a smaller rose, so we're going to do, and you're just going, and this has like little ridges on this one. Oh, of course I can't pop it out now with this. Come on. Oh, where's my little, I have a little tool here. There we go. And for the middle one, I only use a half of one anyway. I know Jane does hers with a full circle. But for the clay, I'm just going to use like half. Maybe a whole one in the beginning. So I think I only used like 8 or 9 petals on that. So... So I'm just going to cut out like, I don't know, 9 or so. I'll do one more. So then you can just roll this right back up and put it right in your bag till you're ready for it. So I'm just going to take the first one and I'm just going to roll right onto itself. Even this is still a little thick. But so you're just going to make a little curlicue. So you're just going to roll it onto yourself. And then I just kind of smush the sides down a little, like that. Yeah, as I'm going, I'm like squeezing, like rolling the bottom so it looks kind of like a cone. And then I'll tear some of this off. So then I'm going to take the next one. And you want to go right in the middle where this curve makes like the V where we left off. We're going to put that right in the middle here and wrap that around. And then you're just going to roll these back a little. And then pinch that down. So then we have this. And this cute little bud. Yeah, I have to get the thinner. I have to get them thinner, but I think this might be alright. Then you're going to take the next one and come around like this. And do the same thing. You know, Jani, she rolls hers down like that on the edges. And then I'm just going to pinch that off like that as I'm going. So see, I just pinch that off. So we have that cute little bud. So we'll keep going. Let's see. So now where this ends here, we want to put another one. So I'm going to keep rolling and keep bending. Oops, I'm off camera there. I'm just going to keep going. Another one here. Roll it on there. Bend this back. And then we'll keep going. Let's see. Add another one here. Bend this back. And then you could just keep adding on. I want to make a little separation between that and that. And add another one. And then we'll keep rolling off the bottom. And this smears on pretty good. So I'm going to take this off. So you see how the bottom is a little curled? See it there? Yeah, I think the clay is easier than paper. But you could stop right there. That's a cute rose. Oh, this camera. There, like that. Well, I'm going to add a couple more. And you could even, like, I flatten this out sometimes. Like this one, I don't like it. It's too thick. So I'm going to add one more, I think, here. Like that. And then bend this back. Yep. So that's that. I'm going to just add this up there. Like that. I might just add one more. Let's add one more. Flatten this. And here. Oops. And it's easy. You could just pull them all apart after. It's pretty soft. Add one more. I'll just roll this back. Alright, and then I'm just going to pinch this off. And then I can come back in here and sand this down later. But see, there's the rose. Isn't it cute? Well, I messed that one up a little bit. So let's go in here and fix this. And then you could separate them, move them around, however you want. Cute. Okay. So this is how I made my own little petal. All I did was roll this up into a little ball. Kind of made like a teardrop when I did my own petal. But wait till you see when we use the molds. Oh my gosh, it's so much better. And I have too much clay in here, so let's take this off. So I just make like a little teardrop like this, and then I just want to, you can use your fingernail, make the little vein in here. So you have it like that, and then you can pinch the bottoms and curl it. So see? And you could bend this and shape it if you wanted to, there. But see, it's very plain, it's nothing in the back. Now wait till you see when we do the molds. Oh my gosh, so much better. Oh, let me spray this so I can show you. So let me put this back in, because still could use that. So let's get, let's see. What did I use last week? I want something with some glitter. So let's see. This is Coral Cape Cod. Let me see what else I have here. Salt water. This one is, let's try this one, Alpine Tea Rose. Oh, what did I say? So we're going to spray this, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the same binding. What did I say? Okay, so we're going to give this, and it takes to the paper clay really nice. You see that? Let's go. There you go. And then I'll come around on the other side and get the sides here. There we go. So I'm going to dry that, but before I dry it, I want to get the ribbon in there. Clean that up with that. Oh, my computer. Okay, so let's dry that. So now you can see some of the gold in there. Oh, crazy thing here. Come on. There it is. See some of the shimmery gold in there? So that's pretty, and it's still not dry yet, so I'll have to let that dry. Let me move that over here. And now I'm going to show you the molds. So let me get some more wax paper here. Oops. The nice thing about the leaf mold too, it has two little cutters so that you can make two different sizes, which is nice. So this is a leaf, the handmade leaf that we made, and then I'll show you the one from the mold. And let me just grab another wipey here. What did I do? Throw my ribbon out? Alright, so we're going to need this and take out the leaves. And you want to, again, roll it out thin. Hi, Barb. So just roll this out. Okay, so let's cut a couple of them. We'll do 2 of the little ones. It is fun. I like the paper clay a lot. And let's do one of the big ones. Let's put this back in. And then all you're going to do is pick this up, lay that down in here, and then you're just going to fold this one right on top. Just press down on there, and then lift this up. Oh my gosh, look at that leaf now. Can you see it? Can you see the dimension in that? There we go. And the great thing about it, it also now has dimension on the back. Let me take it out. I might have done it too thin. Let's see. No, it's still kind of wet too. There we go. Can you see the veins kind of in the back? And then you can mold this just any way that you want. So I'm going to mold it smaller, and we'll leave it like this. So let me do another one. I definitely think I have to make it just a little bit thicker, just too thin. Yeah, it's paper clay. I like the paper clay a lot. So again, you're just going to squish it down, lift it up. I think it's great for mini books, and you don't have to put any powder in here. My clay is really wet. Should let it dry a little bit. There we go. And see the back? I love how it also veins the back. So you see that? And we'll straighten this out. You can keep it straight or keep it curled, however you want to use it. You can bend these down a little. So let's do one more. This is the bigger one. Do the same thing. You're just going to go in here and press this down. And then see how that is? You can see the veining in there? Come on. Ugh, darn it. There it is. Good. And then we're just going to take this out. I definitely have to let this dry just like for a minute or two because it's just so wet. There it is. And then see the back? How nice it is, veined. The molds are really nice. And then you're going to see how easy it is. So that compared to my handmade one, and it's just plain in the back. You see? Not as nice as the molds. So let's... I'm going to bend this one a little bit. I'll fix this one up here a little. And then let me get my mojito green. Where is that? This one is mint green. I don't want that one. I just had them. Here it is. And then again, I'm going to take some my seam binding. They make flowers. I'm going to show you flowers in the cameo. So let's spray this up. And I'm just going to go around with this green. Sop this up. It's nice the way it stays right in the veins, which I really like. I want to dry these, although I need to put something underneath here. The mojito green has a really nice glittery, sparkly let's see if I can hold this up so that we can keep the shape. I don't want to do it on my mat because I don't want it to warp. So let's see if I can do it this way. I'm going to show you the cameo too in a second. I don't want to get my mat. I wish I could hold this better. Here we go. Burn myself. Ow! I have to do it off camera for a sec. Just for a sec. I'm like burning myself here. So they have the cameo and the flower. They also have another flower that's really pretty. Let me just take another second to dry this. Ooh, it's hot. You see the silver in there? Isn't that pretty? You see the silver? Look how nice it looks. I love how it stays in the veins. So you can get some of the glittery effect. So now when we put that next to our rose that we did, look how pretty that is. Yeah, I know, I have to get that. Alright, so that's the rose and the leaf. So let me, before I lose you guys, I have to plug in. So let me do that first. Okay, so now we'll play with the cameo. Ooh, it's wet. So let's put this back. that. Let's do the cameo next. And I love that it comes with the cutters. This is the air dry clay, yes. So you could dry it either with the heat gun or just let it dry overnight. So let's get another piece of wax paper. Oh, we only have a half hour, and we might not get to the card today. Might have to do the card on Wednesday before we start the book. And that's what happened to me last week, too. Just too much stuff in here. Okay, so let's roll out some more clay. This one, oh yeah, just might have a little more we need. Oh, sorry, there's so much noise. Okay. You just really need to knead it just for a few minutes. And this one we're just going to push it into the mold. And then I take some of this off. Even a little bit more. So see, you just want it a little bit above there, not too much. The paper cut, and it's so light too. When you feel it doesn't feel heavy at all, like some of the other clays. So you want to push that in. And then this is just going to peel off. You just have to be gentle. Oh, I got clay on my hands too. Let's see how pretty that is. Let me just shape it first. And what I did was I just came back. Let me get my other piece so I could show you. This is what it looks like when it's dry, and then you could just sand this around. So here's the wet one. See the wet one? Come on, focus. 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 There we are. It really gives a dimension to her hair and the roses that are in her hair and her eyes and her nose. Yeah, they're really, really pretty. And then you can come in here and just sand this all off. I mean, you can trim it up. And I had clay on my hands. Trim this off. And then I'd come back with I'm going to come back with a sanding block and just sand that all out. And then you can shape it with your hands. It's very cool though, isn't it? I love the cameo. Cameo is one of my favorites. And then I'll show you the flower real quick. Do this. It usually falls apart. Really, I never used a Play-Doh, so I don't know how that works. Let's stick this one back in. I think this one would be really pretty on a card. It would be really nice. And I'm going to put some of these, I think, in our Bow Bunny book. So that's that one. And let's do the flower. Whoops! I'm dropping everything. So let's do this flower real quick. And you'll get dimension. See, again, it has the top and bottom, so which is nice. So you'll get it on both. So we'll roll this out. And you're going to stick that in here. And again, you're just going to put this one right on top. Press, and you don't have to press too hard. And here's the back. See the back? The veins and stuff on the back? So that's pretty. And then you just drop this one out. And can you see the top of this one? How pretty that is. And then I actually wait till this dries and I cut the petals a little bit just with the scissors, and then I can even move them further around. So we can, and then you just go ahead and spray it like we did the rose. So we're going to use those in our cover next week. So the paper clay is really, really easy. I thought I had brought some other stuff to show you that I did with it, but I don't see it now. I'll have to show you next week some other things that I've made with the paper clay. Do you have any other questions for me on this, the clay, or what we did so far? So here's the other one. That's the one that we did with the leaves and the flower. Oh, focus. There it is. I love the leaves. The leaves are really my absolute favorite. I just love how that looks. So, and then that's the cameo. So it's kind of like to do the card. Do I have anything else to show you guys? Oh, I'll show you. I used to do clay in my other, a long time ago. I don't even remember how long this paper is. See, I did, I used, this is regular hard clay, and I did the frame with the clay here. Oh, see if you can see the, it's like little seashells. And then I did like the dog bone here. And that's out of, no, I sprayed them wet or dry. I don't know if I used clay anywhere else in here. Oh yeah. Here I used, and you can see how hard and thick that is too. The paper clay, you get it nice and thin. This is just a little book I was playing around with. I added, for my daughter's jeans. I love the little monkey that was on there. Alright, so let me get to what we're going to do next week. Well, next week, in 2 days. Stick this here. Oops. So let me clean this off, and then I'll show you what we're going to do on Wednesday. Plugged in. Get this out of the way. Paper clay. So thank you very Cal. I got my package today. Oops, dropped everything. Hold on. So this is what we're going to work with on Wednesday. Oh, Bunny's primrose. Let me get this. Hold on. I have everything all over the floor. Ugh. Looking for my big book. There we go. So, let me zoom out a little for you guys. I'll take off autofocus. Controls. No, done. Nope. Okay. So this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to move all my sprays out of the way here. I'm going to use, this is like a 10 by 11. And so I started with mine already. I went ahead and just put a light coat of white paint on it. And then I just added some light pink paint around the edges. And then I cut the burlap so that it'll fit in here. And then we're going to add some of the fiber paste like we did today on the cards. And then we'll spray this up with some Lindy's. And then we'll go ahead and decorate it. We'll put some of our roses that we did, the burlap roses, the clay roses. Oh, so the paper clay would be good for jewelry. Yeah, it's nice and light. You'll be surprised how light it is. So and this is the paper. I just want to show it to you real quick. I love the roses paper. Like I said, you don't have to do the book. You could just do layouts if you want with your with yours. I need to raise my camera up a little, I think. Let me see if I could get it to go up. Kind of crooked now. Alright, so I love these with the dandelions. Isn't that pretty? That's pretty, is really pretty. And that has a lot of the mauve-y pink and light green and brown. And it's filled with butterflies, which is pretty. And then this is the butterflies. And we have the noteworthy pack too, and there's a lot of butterflies, so hopefully we won't have to cut this page out too much. That's the back. And I have all the little cards here. I love that. Oh, and this side has the butterflies. Again, more butterflies. This is primrose lined. Barry and Carol have it in the store. I love this one too with the border. This one has, I'll have to turn it upside down. Has this at the bottom. It's just a stripe. And it's very faint. You can't see the light pink. There's like pink, oh, I don't know what you want to call that design. But it's very light. So that's a pink. And then the back of this is just light polka dots. And again, more little butterflies. Inside the brown dots are the little butterflies here. And again, more pink with white dots, or cream dots. And then this is like a little gate. It's called the Primrose Gate. That's really pretty. And then this is circles on the other side. Yes, we have the Inferno pack too, so that's that. And I love this page. It's kind of like Art Deco. This one is Believe in Yourself. Life is Good. The Little Things. It's very pretty. And I love this page. This is my favorite with the roses. So our clay roses, and it's even got some butterflies on there. That's my favorite. And then it's got the stripes. You can see that. Oops. Right there. And on the back of this, some little more polka dots. Pink and the lime green and light green and the peachy mauve. And then this one's pretty. The honeycomb and the butterflies on the side here. And then it's got a number 2. You can see it here, there. The number 2, and then on this side's the number 3. And that's that. And then of course it's got the sticker sheet with a nice flourish. Some more little roses. And it's got the little swirls here. Oh, you can't see it there. The little swirls there. Really pretty. So we'll work on that Wednesday. Hopefully we'll do the front and back covers, and I'm hoping to get maybe 1 or 2 pages done on the inside. So let me get that. But before we start class, we will, I'll show you how to do this card. So we'll do, this is, I think her name is Betty, right Barry? Betty? That's the one they have in the store. So I'll show you how to put her together, and then we'll put her in the front here. And I'll show you how to create this card. Cutting the card, the pieces to cut out is easy. It's going to give us agita when we come to fold it. It did me. So we'll do this before class, and then hopefully we get to the back and front covers and at least 1 or 2 pages. Well, let me see if I brought the ephemera pack up here. I thought I did. Oh yeah. And then this is the paper pack that they have to go with it. Oh, I thought I brought the ephemera pack up here. Here it is. Yep, I have it. Yep, that's the cardstock pack. I'll show that too. Let me move that out of the way. Let me show this one quick first. So there's this one, and there's that one, this. I think the book is going to be, I'll measure it real quick, I think it's like 10 by 11 and a half, something like that. And it's all chipboard pages. Then there's this. More roses, a lot of roses. That one, this one, that one. Lots of butterflies in here too. There's this, the rings, that, a couple more roses. There's this piece. That one, life captured. Come on, focus. Ugh, because I don't have an autofocus now, so. This one's pretty too. The little butterfly. There's a lot of butterflies. So let's see, there's that. There's even a little bee. Ain't cute? Some more tags. Little one with the little butterfly. That one. My happy place. That's what that says. Then there's this. Be awesome today. Another one of these. Another rose. There's a lot of roses and butterflies. So, and then there's all different kinds of butterflies. So you really don't have to cut up that one page. So hopefully we can be able to use that page. More butterflies. That one. That. This one. Yeah, they always do a nice job. Butterflies there. Another little circle. Another tag. And of course banners. Of course we'll put a banner in there too. There's another tag with the butterfly. And then these are the different banners. I love that one with the butterfly. They have big ones and then kind of a small one too. So that's what we're going to work with on Wednesday. Let me get the measure. Oh, let me show you the cardstock pack with it real quick. Yeah, baby book would be pretty with this. A spring book, anything really. Mom, Mother's Day, anything. Easter. And so this is the cardstock pack. So this is the chiffon flourishes. And it has that in the back. Oh, my lighting, can you see? There we go. And there's the pink, mauvey pink. And then it has the dots on this side. And we have the green. The green dots. Brown. We have brown dots. Looks kind of gray, but it's brown. And then we have the pink, darker pink, mauve-like with the cream colored dots. And then this is like a honeycomb. You see that? Like a honeycomb. And then there's the stripes on that side. And then we're back to the flourishes. So that's a cardstock pack that they have in the store. So I think that's it. If you want to stick around, I'm going to stop the recording and then I'll give you my little sneak peek of my By the Sea. So any other questions? Anything that you want me to answer that we did today? Yeah, I like the little 6x6 pad too. The 6x6 pad though, I was surprised didn't have the little the page with the roses on it. Alright, so no questions. So again, we did our roses. Played around with those. And this is the one we're going to use in our book too. We'll use this. We did the clay. Our clay leaves. And here's the cards we did earlier. It was fun. Good. I'm glad you liked it. Well, at least now it's recorded, so. Alright, so let me get rid of this. I'm going to put my, let me see. Let me stick this in there. Those of you who didn't get to see my sign when you came in, here's my sign. And here's the roses that we did last week. You can see that. And my little bear, of course. You learned a lot today? Good, Kathleen. Alright, so I'll see you in 2 days. I'm going to sign off, but you want to stick around, I will give you my sneak peek. Thanks, Jane. Alright, see you on Wednesday. Bye.